I would love to have some sort of news or information to give you that would be like, hey, things are not as bleak and dreary as they seem to be. Unfortunately, we are living in a world where I don't have that. I don't have anything that points to the fact that they are, in fact, not as bleak and dreary as they seem to be. Things are what I would probably say right now, maybe sucking. They are sucking. It just is what it is. And nobody seems to know why. The December 2023 Googlepocolypse is officially here, and people are getting reboned after getting boned the first time from the HCU. So we're going to get into that. If you don't know, my name's Rob. I'm just some average dude from the Midwest that's been blogging for a couple years. You can see over the last year, I did pretty good for my website as a non-SEO smarty pants. I'm not no whiz kid. I'm not no guru, just an average guy and a hard worker. So if blogging and you're just average like me and you like hearing from an average dude like me who admits, I'm not sure I have any answers. I'm just trying to do the best that I can. Hit subscribe, hit like. Let's get into what's happening right now. So I wanted to show you first, I start off with this a lot, my GSC. And the reason I'm showing you this is because you can tell, obviously, where the HCU hit me. Now, when the HCU hit me, at my lowest, I never got under 100 clicks a day. I mean, I started at like 1,400 clicks a day, so I lost like 90-95% of my traffic, but I never got under triple digits until whatever is happening right now, and I have had double digits several times. So I'll see a 98 right there. You see there's a 94, there it is, and there's somewhere. I never thought I would see these types of numbers again. I haven't seen these numbers since pretty much whenever I started my blog a couple of years ago. Obviously, it's frustrating. But on top of that, what makes it even more frustrating is that there's no rhyme or reason to what's happening right now. At least whenever we were getting totally boned by the HCU, Google was at least trying to say, here's our purpose or our intention behind this. Here's what we're trying to accomplish. And even if you got totally nailed and you didn't like it, at least you can go, well, whatever reason, I'm not fitting into that narrative that Google is trying. But right now, there's no narrative. There's no acknowledgement from Google whatsoever that they're doing something. In fact, if you look over at like the SEMrush SERP analyzer, it doesn't even show that high of volatility. But if you look at what people are saying online, there is a ton of volatility. So it really makes this frustrating right now that we can see something happening, but there's zero sort of acknowledgement from seemingly any source that there are things actually happening right now. So super, super frustrating. And it's actually one of the first times since the HCU stuff started that I'm seeing more and more people just go like, we might be at the end of our rope. We've done everything that we can to our sites at this point, except now just like waiting the thing out, which is kind of an interesting. People are very frustrated. I want to show you a couple of things here, if I may. I've shown you this. This is a, let me move my stupid face out of the way. This is a bookmark that I've got saved all the time. It is the Ahrefs keyword changes. I'm basically comparing today's to yesterday. What did Ahrefs find, better or worse, from the previous day? Because this column right here, the change column, this is what I look at. And whenever I see a bunch of red, if I see a bunch of green, I know stuff's been going on. And for the last 10 days, it's been a lot of red. But here's how it's been different from the HCU. When the HCU hit, it hit fast and it hit hard. I went from a number to an X. A lot of my stuff just got completely removed, or the drops were like double-digit drops. I just lost 50 positions, 70 positions, whatever it was. This one is so different because it's almost like when you dump in your pants and you have to hold it all day long. And like by the end of the day, you tried your best, but now you got a little bit of poopy on your sock because it slowly ran down. Just over, you're just, each day you're like, oh my God, please don't get to my sock, poopy, please. But it ended up on your sock. So this has been so odd because each time I look at this, it's a slow poopy drop. 4, 2, 1, 2, 4, which doesn't look that bad, except whenever that same keyword, if they had 2 a couple days ago and 3 before that, all of a sudden those numbers add up. And that's also what makes this so interesting and such a slow drain is because like it started 10 days ago doing this. And so nobody freaked out 10 days ago because these numbers were so small, but they're starting to accumulate over time. And those keywords aren't just losing position once, they're losing position multiple times in small increments. It's death by 1,000 cuts. So keeping an eye on this. One of the other things I've also thought was interesting is I've been looking at, well, what's replacing me then, right? Like whenever I look at the SERPs for each one of these, seeing a lot of AI articles. I'm seeing a lot of articles that, again, are not firsthand experience articles on topics that I do have articles on firsthand experience. So definitely a ton of AI all of a sudden is coming in. I can always tell because they have pictures on them where words are just misspelled, obviously, and they don't make any sense. So kind of interesting. This is obviously still a downward spiral. I want to show you a couple of threads here, though. So this is something I saw the other day. Alec Asadurian. I butchered that. Sorry, Alec. So he made a post the other day that said maybe SEO is really dead. And so if you actually look at this, it's a bunch of people that are posting their own charts, and a few of these end up being good. A couple of braggarts in there. Get out of here, you you dang braggarts. This is for us trying to have pity on ourselves. Here's one that's like doing good, but we have ourselves a slow drain. We have ourselves a not so slow drain. If we go down here, yeah, you can see this looks like mine actually. Let's see here what we've got. So it's a lot of this. This one does good. It's a couple of just show-offs in here. I don't appreciate that very much. Another drop. So on today, he sort of just reposted, said this post has become a rather sad of site graphics. But whenever I looked at his site, he had posted this, Googlepocolypse. It's a Reddit thread. Man, the fallout from November 2023 core update and more recently SERP volatilities continues with all my sites seeing massive drops, etc. So I went and I looked for this particular thread, and here we go right here. Man, the fallout, And it's really interesting to see all the other people that are, this was only started 18 hours ago, right? But interesting to see, I took a huge hit, people talking about how they're experiencing stuff. So the only reason I'm showing this to you, one, is like, I'll put a link to this down below in the description so you can easily find it yourself. I'll also link Alec, how do you possession Alec? Is it Alex? Alex? I'll also link his Twitter thread to make sure that he gets a follow. It's interesting to see just so many people, A, that are getting hit, B, that are saying things like this. I can't figure it out, and I'm not sure it can be figured out. I feel like I'm seeing a lot less people this time around with answers or quote unquote answers or direction, and a lot more of just sort of like people, seemingly being frustrated. Total mess here. Let's see what else we got. Started 2 days ago, 50% drop for me. It dropped a lot past content. Went from 2K a day to 700 after the HCU. Now we're down to 400. I feel that very much so. Also seeing this started September. Some people saw a rebound, down like 40% now. All tailwords are gone. My website is disappearing. So it is intense. So ultimately, what do I have to say to sort of summarize what's going on? Like, it's not good. Like, it isn't good. I think there's several things that are in play. I don't think Google is able to handle or figure out how to handle the influx of AI, because you just have to know that there is a massive amount of articles coming in, and it just can't sort through content and determine what's good content, what is true EEAT. That's why I think there's so much chatter and so much talk about like backlinks right now, is because I think that's the only thing that Google can right now for sure say is some sort of a factor to determine authority for your site, is like, where are other people talking about you, because they can't really look at the content and go, well, this is good and this is bad, because there's just so much coming in. I think they're behind the 8 ball is essentially what's going on. And so we're seeing a lot of the volatility. So people are getting punished that are writing good quality articles, even if they're AI. Even if it's a good quality article, you might still be getting totally boned. It's incredible for me to see this. And again, with what seems to be zero indication of any sort of acknowledgement from Google. So what am I doing right now? Well, I'm crying a lot. It would seem like, internally, of course. I'm just going to keep doing what I've been doing. I've been working on my site. I'm continuing to write articles. I'm not trying to pump out a bunch of them. I'm just trying to write well-timed articles with good content in them. I'm updating some of my previous articles. I went through and I got rid of some of those articles that like had no traffic over the last 6 months. I did all of that stuff that people said that you were supposed to do. But for right now, what I am doing is, because there are no answers, my answer is to continue working. And that's pretty much it. Time will tell how this stuff all pans out. I can see a scenario where one of two things happens. We continue on the same path, and in true niche sites end up really never being able to return. There's so much talk right now about finding other alternate ways to get traffic, Pinterest and Facebook and things like that, and people are going heavy on that right now. But it's possible that some of this stuff gets sorted out with the SEO stuff, and rankings have some stability and make some sense at some point. And then all of a sudden, people that are now so horny about trying to get all this other traffic from these other sites or from these other sources might be coming back because like rankings return. It's really hard to know. The only thing that we know, the only thing we can do is what we can do. And based off of what we know is just keep building your site. Keep doing what got you there in the first place. You know, what's that saying? Ride the horse that got you there. Or is it ride the dog? No, you wouldn't ride a dog. You'd ride a horse. And like, just keep working on your site and try to keep your head up. Try to not stay too down about it. Try to, give yourself a little bit of breathing room and let the thing do what it's going to do. You almost have to, in some sense, disregard what's happening right now because you're trying to make sense out of something that is chaotic, and that's really difficult to do. So that's it. Thanks you all so much for hanging out again. Hit subscribe and like if you like just conversations with other people that are also just regular people struggling through whatever this craziness currently is. At some point, it won't be crazy and it'll make sense. Which side of that we're on at that time? Who knows? Because we don't know what that's going to look like. But when we get there, I guess we'll figure it out. I don't know. Things are nuts. Things are crazy. It is what it is. But on to live another day and on to write another day. See you on the next video. Peace out.